In this video, we're going to take a quick initial look, do a little shooting of the CMMG Mk9 9mm AR rifle. That's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at CMMG were kind enough to send me one of their Mk9 9mm AR platform rifles so we could test it out and show it to you and do a kind of a long-term evaluation of it before we send it back. And first of all, let me say right now, sorry for the noise. We are in the range here at Stoddard's Range and Guns in Douglasville, one of my favorite places to shoot. They were kind enough to let us in here before the crowd comes in and shoot a little video. And they've got a really state-of-the-art system here at Stoddard's. Really nice place to shoot, they're really friendly folks. So just a quick plug for them out here at Stoddard's. They were also kind enough, by the way, to lend me this aim point optic to put on here to do some initial testing, because this is an optics ready platform. So pretty much you can put whatever you want on here, whatever your preferred sighting mechanism is. Anyway, real quickly, before we get to putting some rounds downrange, I'm going to tell you about the folks at CMMG. Now, you've probably seen their logo and are familiar with their brand. They make a lot of different firearms and accessories. CMMG was established in 2002 and is still a family-owned business to this day. All their products are proudly made in the USA. Another thing I really like about them is they guarantee all their products against defects in materials and workmanship for the life of their products. So let me read you one statement I found on their website, then I'll stop rambling and we'll get to doing some shooting. It says, "Although the nature of our business continues to evolve, one thing does not. Our commitment to meet each and every morning to pray for God's wisdom in managing the enormous responsibility that comes with this business." Okay, you know I like that, right? And I think that is just probably one of the reasons for their success. So anyway, a little bit more rambling. So when I was talking to the CMMG rep about what would be a good thing to review, and they make a lot of different calibers, but the 9mm just seemed to be a really good kind of a bug out / survival type caliber, because for a couple of reasons. First of all, ammunition's smaller and easy to carry. Sometimes it's a little less money than maybe a rifle ammunition. And many of us have 9mm handguns, so you have ammunition interchangeability, which is always good. 9mm is a NATO round, so if things did go crazy and everything kind of went south, that might be a more readily available round that you could find to use if you needed to. So anyway, that's kind of why we went with the 9mm. So let's do some shooting. Okay, so since we chose this rifle maybe for a everything hit the fan kind of situation or whatever, one of the things we want to see is if it'll handle a wide variety of ammunition. So the folks at Federal were kind enough to send me some to check out. Today we're going to be using 3 different varieties. We're going to be using the 124 grain HST, which has kind of got that hollow point right there. And then we're going to be using the this is 124 grain Hydra-Shock, and it's got a little bit of a different version there of a hollow point. And then a pretty new ammunition. It's designed for range shooting to help keep your rifle or your barrel cleaner. And it has got it's a Syntec. And it's got like this, you can see this coating it's got on it here. It's basically a total synthetic jacket. This helps keep your rifling cleaner and be a lot easier on your barrel for a lot of range shooting. So pretty good idea from the folks at Federal. But we're going to check out 3 of these now. So let's get to it. Okay, since we've not sighted the rifle to the optic yet, we're going to take it out maybe 25 feet to begin with, just to go ahead and see, put some rounds on papers and kind of dial it in, and we'll see where we go from there. Hopefully we can get on paper from there. The Mk9 comes with a 32 round magazine. We got it loaded about half full now with the Syntec ammo. The thing I want to show you about these magazines is it's got indicators at 10, 20, and 32 rounds. You can barely see the last round in there, kind of above the follower. I got to tell you though, if you have a loader, if you're going to load a lot of these, it'd be great to have one of those little loader things, because they're not that hard, but the last couple of rounds, I mean, you gotta want to put them in there, but they'll go in there. It'll make your thumb a lot stronger too. So let's just see what we got. Still right. Last round, finally got a 0, I think. Let's see. Okay, so here was like the first round, and then it's probably a little bit to the right. I started moving to the left, and I realized it was lower, so kept zeroed in. Finally, that was the final round. I think we got it pretty much zeroed. We're gonna put another mag in with a different ammo, take it out to about 50 feet, and see what we get. Okay, so that was the Syntech to try to get this thing sighted in a little bit. We'll go ahead. We can shoot some HST. I'll put a few rounds in. We're at 50 feet. And then I'll let somebody that really knows how to shoot come put a few rounds through it. So we're hot. Okay, we're gonna go for headshots now. So if I was aiming for there, might have been a little high and right, so we're going to do a little more adjustment here now. Okay, so let's get somebody that knows how to shoot in here. Okay. Just to see how well the thing handles with different people. How we got my nephew Alex. Since he's from Alabama, you know he's familiar with guns. You ought to see his pickup truck. Oh, you're nailing it, man. All in the middle. Good shooting, brother. Okay, so we got one more magazine left, and we're going to take, this is going to be the Hydra Shocks. We'll see how well they shoot, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So I'm going to aim for the white area, right up at the right. I'm going to aim for right here in white, so you can see it. I'm going to do it freehand too, just because. Why not? Woo, we got a. Okay, so we got one kind of misfeed right here. We're going to clear that. And drop the mag. And that was actually just a misfeed. Don't know what caused it. We'll put it back in here and go again. That one is not going to feed. That's 2 in a row here.
I think it's just the ammo.
That ammo is like pushed in there. So we had no problems with the other ammo. Let's keep trying this. Let's do one more thing. Probably about 4 rounds left. I'm going to shoot those 4 rounds at like 50 feet, aiming for right here, and we'll see what happens. Okay, 7 rounds. And 3, 4, so they're right here. So that was a quick initial look at the CMMG Mk9 AR platform 9mm rifle. And I got to say, the only issues we had were those couple of misfeeds or a couple of ammo problems, and it really, that was with the Hydroshock, the Federal Hydroshock ammo. That may not be a good ammo for this rifle. So we put up 120 rounds through it so far. What I'm going to do, we're going to do kind of a longer term test here. So I'm not going to clean this rifle. Just going to put it up like it is. I know that's not what you're supposed to do, but we're trying to do a test here. So in a survival type long-term situation, you might not have time to stop and clean your rifle. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to just let this thing sit dirty. We're going to run some more rounds through it. Probably try to get at least several hundred rounds through it in our testing, and to see how well it performs. Anyway, so once again, thanks to the folks at CMMG for sending me this so I can test it out and do a long-term evaluation. If you like this video, you can watch another one right here. And if you want to check out the rest of this series, be sure to subscribe. If you haven't done so, you can fix that by clicking right down here. Once again, my name's Brian. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.